Some horror monsters chase you, some kill you, but the ones in this video, they do something worse. They stay in your head long after the movie ends. Okay, let's be honest. You don't remember every horror movie you've watched, but you do remember certain moments, that one creature, that one scene, that one image that just never left your brain. And the scariest part? Sometimes those monsters barely even appear on screen. But when they do, it's enough to traumatize you for years. So today, we're diving into some of the most disturbing horror movie creatures ever put on screen. Not just because they look scary, but because of what they represent. And trust me, one of these will make you rethink going into the dark forever. Let's start with something massive, Cloverfield. Now, this movie did something genius. It gave us a giant monster and then barely showed it. The entire film is shot like found footage, shaky camera, chaotic movement, no clear view of what's happening. And somehow, that makes it even worse, because your brain fills in the gaps. The story follows a group of friends in New York City. Everything starts normal: party, music, laughter. And then the power goes out. Explosions, screens, and suddenly the city is under attack. But here's the thing: you never fully understand what's happening. People are running, buildings are collapsing, the military is panicking, and somewhere out there, something huge is moving. But you only get glimpses: a shadow, a leg, a roar echoing through the streets. And that uncertainty, that's what makes it terrifying. Because you're not watching a hero fight a monster. You're watching normal people trying to survive something they can't even see. And just when you think it's over, you finally get a clear look at it for a moment, just enough to realize, yeah, we were never supposed to win. Now let's go somewhere worse. Underground. The Descent. This movie taps into one very specific fear: being trapped. A group of friends go cave diving. Sounds fun, right? Yeah. No. Because the cave system they enter isn't mapped. Meaning, once you're inside, there's no guaranteed way out. At first, the tension comes from the environment: tight spaces, no light, barely enough oxygen. But then, the movie introduces something else. Something living in the dark. The crawlers. These things don't see like us. They hunt using sound, which means if you breathe too loud, you're done. And the first time you see one, it's quick, almost hidden, but your brain catches it. And from that moment on, every shadow feels alive. The movie uses darkness like a weapon. You're constantly trying to see what's there. And sometimes you wish you didn't. Because when the crawlers finally attack, it's fast, brutal, animalistic. No warning, no escape. And one by one, the group starts disappearing, leaving you with a very uncomfortable thought. What if something is watching you right now, and you just can't see it yet? Now let's talk about a scene. Just one scene, but it's enough. Pan's Labyrinth. This movie blends fantasy and horror in a way that feels almost beautiful, until it isn't. We follow a young girl escaping into a magical world, trying to survive a very real nightmare in her real life. And during one of her tasks, she enters a room, a quiet room, with a long table, covered in food. And sitting at the head of that table is something you will never forget: the pale man. At first, he doesn't move. He just sits there, still, lifeless. And that silence, it's terrifying because you know something is about to happen. The girl is warned not to eat anything, but she does, just one bite. And that's when it wakes up. Slowly, unnaturally, it lifts its hands and places its eyes into its palms, and suddenly it can see. The way it moves, the way it chases her, it's not fast, but it doesn't need to be, because the fear isn't in the speed, it's in the design. It's wrong. Everything about it is wrong. And even though it only appears for a few minutes, that's all it takes, because some images you don't forget. Now, let's talk about something deeply unsettling. Alien resurrection. You expect aliens to be scary. That's normal. But this movie does something different. It gives us a creature that's not just alien, it's emotional. At the end of the film, we're introduced to something called the newborn. And this thing, it doesn't just look disturbing, it feels disturbing because it has human traits, facial expressions, movements, almost like it understands things. And here's the worst part, it sees Ripley as its mother. Yeah, let that sink in. This creature, born from pure horror, feels attachment, and that makes everything worse, because now it's not just killing, it's interacting, connecting. And when something that looks like that acts human, your brain doesn't know how to process it, and that's what makes it terrifying. Not just what it is, but what it shouldn't be. Now this is pure nightmare fuel. Annihilation. The movie takes place inside a mysterious zone called the Shimmer. And inside it, nothing follows the rules of nature. Everything mutates, everything changes. And eventually, we meet the creature, the bear. But calling it a bear feels wrong, because this thing has absorbed something human, victims. And it doesn't just kill them, it keeps them. The scariest moment? The sound. The creature makes noises, but they're not animal sounds. They're human screams. Specifically, the voices of the people it killed. Imagine being hunted by something that sounds like someone begging for help. Yeah, that's not just horror. That's psychological damage. Because now your brain is confused. Do you run or do you respond? And that hesitation, that's all it needs.